So on a different note, oh, colors a little wonky. Just got back from dinner. It was a really good dinner. We went to the Innsville. The Innsville is in the thriving metropolis of Winona, Ontario, Canada. Where I grew up. The Innsville is a building that my great-granddad, my mom's granddad, my great-granddad, built. So I've been told. So in the early 20th century, in the early 1900s, I'm not exactly sure which part he built, but he built the original Innsville. My great-granddad was a carpenter. He built a lot of homes in the Stony Creek area back then. The house that my grandma and grandpa lived in and had their 8 kids, including my mom, was built by my great-granddad. I like going to Innsville. I worked there when I was in high school too, because my high school was just down the street. And I'd stop in there on the way home from school and short order cook / dishwasher after school, grade 11 and 12. It was fine. I liked it. So dinner was good. And then I came over here and I started taking more things down and putting in Ziplocs. This is one spaceship that was given to me from a friend. So I got the numbers inside. And then I put my 918 A, B, C, and D put away into Ziplocs. This mini Galaxy Explorer came in one of those books or something. I can't remember where, but I got it. So one of the original intents, and I keep on revisiting this idea, is having some handles on the boxes. Like there's handles on the boxes to lift them up, but you can get collapsible handles that fold into whatever, so they're not in the way when you're moving boxes around, that are perfectly circles. They use them for docks, sometimes to tie ropes to. And then I was going to source some PVC piping. So this is where this is going. So I would have the 2 collapsible handles on the back of the boxes, one at the top and one at the bottom of the box, in line. So you can put a PVC pipe through the handle when they're pulled out, and then have a 6-foot or 8-foot pipe, PVC pipe, black preferably. And then at the top of the pipe, have L brackets that would extend, just rebar or something, bent in an L shape. And so you put one end of the rebar in top of the PVC pipe and have the other end stick out over top of the layout 3 or 4 or 5 feet, or maybe not 5 feet, but 2 or 3 feet. And then hang a la mobile, hang spaceships in the air, in space. So they'd be floating above the layout. So that was, so this was combined. So this is, I had so many ideas for the layout. When we did 2 shows, one at Bricks and the Six and one up at Janie's store, where I used the Easy Up, 10 by 10 Easy Up that we had for our dining fly. And then I set that up above the layout and then put black drapes or black blankets or sheets around 2 of the 4 sides, so it looked dark underneath because the thing lights up. You want to see that. And then I would hang spaceships from the superstructure of the Easy Up, the metal parts. I like that. There's a few videos way back when on my channel, I'll never find again, of that layout with the spaceships hanging in flight above the layout. And I wanted to revisit that idea without bringing an Easy Up. So the idea was to PVC pipe and then have these things extend out over the layout and then just hang spaceships from the rebar or whatever else you're hanging over. So that's been in my head. And then with the PVC pipes coming up, 6 or 8 feet tall, I would have put one in one corner on the blue boxes. That's where they would attach to the thing. And on the other corner, so it would be on the opposite sides of the back of the layout. And then I would then sew up one of these black sheets that I have that fit also in the PVC pipe along the back. So all of a sudden, now you're looking at the space layout, and there'd be like a backdrop of black behind it. I thought about that too, so that was an idea. Of course, I didn't do any of that because the logistics in my head says, nah, that's effort. That's effort. That that is not a value added service, especially the backdrop, because then you can't see the back. And I did put some effort into that. If you're seeing it from all four sides, you can actually see it. The other thing is, of course, the tower extends beyond the back. So I couldn't put a sheet there because I'd have to take off the landing pad. And we all know what happens if you only have 3 landing pads on this thing. We found out the other day, the other month. So I had these ideas. And it's kind of, the magnet, the hovering magnet thing was just a whim kind of thing, and it became, wow, this is going to be integrated into the layout as quick as possible. Whereas the backdrop and the PVC pipe, it's been in my head for literally years, and I never did anything about it because of various issues. And that's just what, like, I got so many other ideas I wanted to try with the layout that would be quote unquote value added service to the display of it, but I just never got there. And now I got one more thing I'm going to try before hopefully Bricks in the Six, and I think it has good potential, but also has good disaster potential. So I don't want to do that too much. Well, we'll see what happens. But we're in the midst of acquiring parts and pieces for it, and we'll just see what happens. Other than that, this room is almost done, and just I'm amazed right now as to how many actual Lego boxes I have, Lego sets I have that are unopened. which because I don't care about boxes, and yet I'm looking around, and here's something that I dug up. I got these on eBay, if I remember correctly. Might have been somewhere else, but these are before Sandy. So I got these online more than 21 years ago, just because I wanted to be complete on something. So inside came like the original 4.5 volt battery box that takes C-size batteries, and it's got this really cool translucent trans clear. That's 8 by 11 studs, which is an odd number, and then the actual motor. The motor itself, I remember one of them was working, and I'm not sure about the other one, but it was. This is literally the first electric motor that came out with the Lego company, and it was late 60s, set 002, and somehow I got 2 of them, which is odd, and so I'm gonna bring these to bits possibly. I might put them up on Marketplace right now. There's no price tag on the Bricklinks. I think there was one for sale on Bricklink, and they wanted some outrageous amount of money for it. But I have 2, and again, nostalgia is nice to have, but that means nothing to me. So I'm thinking I'm going to dump those, and not worry about it. Oh, I didn't realize I have a whole big box of this stuff. So this box I might just get rid of. Like, it's got all the pieces inside, but I might just get, this box is so beat up, like it is really big. Like, it's not as good as this box down here that my friend Linda's got from her sister-in-law with the writing on it, but I don't mind that. I'm gonna keep this box, but I think this box is well past its due date. It's got the electrical tape on it. It is, the pieces are, so I might dump this box finally. I remember picking it up at a lot. It wasn't a garage. I mean, it wasn't a eBay thing. It was a whatever. I think maybe even before eBay. This thing, I don't know what to do with, because the box is mint. I got this at Value Village. I had this when I was a kid. I got this for Christmas, or Brian got this for Christmas, or Terry got this. One of us got this for Christmas when we were kids. The box is mint, and the pieces inside are mint. It's like they were never literally ever used. And then going, and every so often it falls down and all the pieces end up on the floor, which is annoying. But it's like, I even though I'm not a fan of boxes, I have a tough time getting rid of this one because this is my childhood right here. But it's just like literally, it's just basic pieces. That's all it is. It's basic pieces. So there's that one. And what else do I have down here? A lot of newer boxes. I'm going to, because we got these things at Rob's store, unopened, because I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I just might sell these straight up as is. So that's that. I think I have two of those, two different ones. I got another one of these in box, even though I have two up there. I have a third one. I don't know. I don't even remember how I acquired a third one. I bought one the day this was a gift with purchase. The day of, we drove. Sandy, we're going to Sherway Gardens, and we got there. Let's see. This is not the original. This is my rendition of the original. This is the original. I did not change this one. This is from the original instructions, which I thought were a little weak compared to when the Renegade came out. So this is, we drove this Sherway gift with purchase. They said you have to pay $150 to get the gift with purchase. So I bought this guy. And it's still in the box. This box is still complete. I haven't even opened it. But it's the only thing in the store that I wanted, at that point, that I wanted. Now, Transformers came out when I was 20-ish, maybe 18. Maybe it was on TV before then, the cartoon over here in North America. I remember some of my younger cousins and whatever, and friends, younger friends in Boy Scouts, they had, my friend Jake had a lot of Transformers. So I watched the cartoon because, whatever. And so I watched the first couple seasons for what it was. And then I even saw the movie. So, but yeah, so I think let's just back this up. Transformers was out when I was a teenager because I saw the movie. I think the movie came out in '86. I saw it in the theater. So with Orson Welles as the voice of no, it wasn't Galvatron. Omnicron. I think it was, I can't remember, it was a long time ago. So I bought him. I was planning on building him. Just never got around to it. The box is sealed. I'm probably going to keep him because it is Optimus. What else was there? There was some other sets that he even. This is one of my favorite eBay purchases ever. Like back when eBay was cheap, and Lego was cheap on eBay. This is from 1972. It's from Italy, and all the pieces are inside. Yay! It's a service pack, so I keep that one for sure. What else? Things I don't know why I keep. I got rid of one of my command centers. My friend wanted it, so I shipped it because he wanted the 9750, the interface box to the Apple IIe, which is one I had. I got that in eBay way at the beginning, so Lego TC logo kind of thing. So because I already have 4 or 5 of those 4.5 volt command centers, but I also got this. Let's see, I'm sure it's the right side up because you don't want the pieces falling down. This is what happens when you clean your room. So basically everything's in here, including all the lights and whatever, and the rotation sensors, and the disc, that wonderful disc for rotation count, and all the wiring and stuff. So I kept that separate. 2 4.5 volt motors. Yay! I love these things, by the way. These things were awesome. Absolutely awesome. What I don't have down here now is I have a whole bin full of the 4.5 volt gray wiring from back in the day. That was good times. Just stuff that I have to get rid of. This is just an odd thing for me to have. I got another one of these unbuilt. I have one that was built and I left on display for the longest time. And then because I have at the time 3 or 4 year old, pieces went missing and minifigs went missing. I didn't care. so somehow I got 2. What else? Is nothing right home about. Oh yeah, got that thing out of Sherway, and I just never built it. Never got around. Even though Back to the Future is one of my favorite movies ever. The Lego Movie on DVD. Lego Universe. Yeah. Anyway. And I have this sealed. And again, this is, I don't know what year this came out. And I don't think there's a date on here. But this is 4283. But it is what it is. And then a couple more gift with purchases. That I kept on putting in the layout. My brother-in-law got me this thing. He found it at a garage sale. It's a Lego camcorder, which is different than the Lego camera that I have with the RCX. Vision Command, yes, Vision Command. So this thing is an actual camcorder, and it actually works. I tested it. It's not. I think it's 640 by 480. Like it's pretty weak in the thing. It came with software, but nothing works on PCs these days. Bought it, loved it, never built it. And then again, just because I like supporting my friend Peter Reed, yet another exosuit. We have 3 or 4. I remember wanting the first one, I got it, and then we kept on picking them up. So this is, I think, my 4th or 5th exosuit, but it's mint in box. And then this one, I had this one as a kid. But of course, I never kept boxes, so I found this one on eBay years and years ago for like nothing, and it is like perfect inside, and it even came with those stupid little stickers that I remember when I was a kid. Not used, so I keep this thing. It even has storage for the 3 batteries, the 3 C-size batteries. So I do keep this thing by itself. I have so many of these motors anyway outside, probably a dozen or more in the various colors, yellow, blue, black, and various sizes, and with the connecting pins on that. This is my problem. I will never build with this. I will never build with this at all. I can't see what I would want to build with this. Unless I'm restoring an old set, like a 944, I think it's 944 or 744. One of them came with this. But just the nostalgia factor of the box, because this is a box I had when I was a kid, and it's such a cool box and such a cool concept, but it's been sitting in this room for 20 years. Or 16 years since Josh's been here. It's been sitting here, sitting in a box. That bothers me, because I'm not saying space is a premium in this house. I mean, this Lego room's been sitting here, and now it's going to sit upstairs. But I have to do something with it at some time. It's not the space that's a problem for me right now. It's I'm going to be 60. I plan on living to be 100, but I'm going to be 60 pretty soon. And life is on the far side of the halfway mark. So it's like, I don't want something, if something happens to me, I don't want my wife taking care of this. So the more I get rid of now, the better it's going to be for everybody. And I won't have this overhead. And I will say this, the last couple of years, I haven't been as happy here, because every time I come down here, I need to sort, and I don't sort because I'm busy building cute little things, but I need to sort the stuff because there's so much to sort. And I'm going, there is too much to sort, and there's too much to store. And I'm going, since I don't see my my building style and my building part palette changing as much, just putting that in my head, there should be a lot that I should be able to get rid of, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. So what else I got over here while I'm painting up? And Statue of Liberty. Act. Deep cut. As my brother and I spent most of our time looking for beer. Hey, Olaf, yay! I don't know I have that. Just like I don't know I have that. I know I have that, but I had the original, and I took off all the stickers off the brick, and I could rebuild it, but I don't have the stickers anymore. I think some of this stuff came from various shows and stuff. This we got at Valley Village. There was 2 or 3 of them, and Josh saw them, and so we got them, and they were like $5 each, so we bought them. This is something. Vintage minifigure collection. Sandy got this for me, or Josh got this for me, or somebody got this for me. I got it for Christmas one year, so I haven't even opened it yet. But look, Blacktron and original Space Guy with the wrong helmet, because that's what they did. Just fine. That's fine. I also had, and I don't know if I can find it readily quickly, the 3 minifig set from our work at Yorkdale and or Sherway when they first opened up. So those, I have that in this mint, and I don't really care what happens to it, because that's not my fandom, and I love that other people do have this fandom. Like they like to have the as much as like those people who collect the minifig business cards. I have one because the guy just happened to give Sandy, me, and Josh one at the show, one of our Brick Links or Brick Fets. But I would never ever think about collecting those. But I happen to have 3. This thing, like, it's just completely wasted now, because nobody's. I saw a couple of YouTubes out there where they are actually dedicating themselves to the old Lego and connecting up to the old Apple IIe and or IBM PC, and actually programming, which is kind of neat. But I ain't doing that. So. A Lego radio, again, Valley Village. Lego piggy bank, and Lego storage containers that have Joshua's name on it, because these were Joshua's at one point. I can't remember if Janie gave us these, whatever. Another Lego clock radio that I had in my bedroom was my alarm clock, but that stopped. So all this stuff that I don't know what to do with. Best book ever. This one I'm definitely keeping. This one I will refuse to get rid of. This is my favorite book. This was the swag I got when I went to Stratford that one time with Lego Wars. Pick that up. I was planning on building the minifig and get rid of the magazine, but didn't do that. There's the other one. Pick that, and then that's whatever. I think I got this at one of the Brick Six and the Sixes, or Brick. This is all desk now. All this stuff piled on my desk that I have to take upstairs. This was very important to me. This was moving to me because let me just set this down. This is the PDF version of the Hispabrick, Hispabrickmagazine.com. They asked me, and somebody actually took an interest. They asked me about the NQC or SEQ, not NQC. My SEQ story. So they asked me to write a column for it, because so here's what I'm talking about. So there's the control center that for the TC logo. Here's the command center 1. There's the other little command center. There's the NXT. There's the RCX, and this piece in the middle. Now I got them upstairs because everything's already moved upstairs. It's called the. I think you see that. It's called the SEQ, and I believe the guy who invented that was not with Lego, but it works with Lego Motors. He is the grandfather of the RCX. So I got that off of Marketplace years ago, and so I wrote a whole. So there's the inside, and there's all the wires I got, and these are all the battery boxes, those C-size battery boxes, and I got 4 of those, and I gave one to one of my friends whatever. And so, but I wrote a whole article about it, and it is awesome. I'm gonna say that. So I'm keeping notes. So, but the Hispabrick asked me to write an article about it, so I did. And I love the fact that they asked me. What else is there? Original sticker sheet for the castle with 2 shield stickers left. Why do I keep the rest of it? Don't ask me. This whole thing is full of stickers from various shows and sets that I found in lots. That that I never used. I think this one is from oh, come on, Exoforce. I'm gonna say I loved Exoforce. I was a big fan of Exoforce for the 2 years that it ran. And I wasn't trying to be complete, but I got a lot of them. Here's the for the old school guys. So I kept all the stickers that I could, and then even the third party stuff. What's this? Oh, this is when I went out to New Brunswick, and the newspaper guy showed up, and so there's a picture of the layout at New Brunswick. So that was fun. I keep that. So this is my fandom. See if there's anything else. Oh, why I kept these, I literally have no idea. And what I'm noticing on the marketplaces right now, because I bought 7 or 8 of these train sets from deep discount from Shop at Home and or Sears. I can't remember where I got them from, but they were stupid money, like $25 each. And if you ever bought them, you know it's a big set. It came basically a loop and a motor and a controller and 2 cars with lots of minifigs. This is what started off my train collection, where I was doing shows with Callum and Derek and Jeff and Jeremy, because I just bought 8 copies of that, and I hated the actual set. I built it once. I said, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. But I got a train controller, I got track, and I got a motor. So so that's basically where it all started. So you know, it is what it is. And then the various idea books, which is this one. Oh, the angel sang. And this is the funny part, and this is the last one I got. It's pre 6,000. It has stuff like that in it. No minifigs. So I didn't even know that one existed. So that was fun. And then one of the brochures from when I was a kid, which I absolutely adored. But I got that recently. This is going to go to my friend Jeff because it's an instruction book. I'll put that in the instruction list pile over somewhere around here. Oh, I think I promised that to somebody. I can't remember now. And that one. And that one. So I got those in used lots in the last bunch of years. I get it. I get the desire to have them, the original instruction books. I wish I still had mine from when I was a kid, but they all went out. The boxes and the instructions all went out at the same time. Actually, no, my instructions did not go. All my instructions either I sold or I gave them to Jeff to sell. So 1973 was an interesting year. Let's see, I got that one, no, it's backwards now. 221, yes. Is it the 250? Might be the 250. That had that wonderful, this thing. I've had so many friends rebuild that. This is one of the best pictures of classic space. And people from all over the world have actually built that picture with all the builds in it and brought in the shows. And I think the Brick Fete did that one year. The year I wasn't there, so that was my own fault. Life happens, and that's fine. So I got those, and then let me get down here, way in the back. mini poster. And why? Free swag when I went to the Stratford Imagination. This is kind of a Cole's Notes version of the same book, World of Lego Toys, and it's basically the book looked like that. It has some wonderful pictures in the back from 1987. So I keep that. I also keep this copy of the Toronto Star. You can see that it's made out of Lego, and it has a picture of my friend Jeff's head right there. So, and then as you guys remember, I just did that last year and then took it apart. So this is getting down to the bottom of my piles of stuff. I don't know why I have it, but I have it. But I do know I have this one. I love Joe Mino. I love me some Joe Mino. It's one of my good and dear friends. And Joe asked me one time, and I've known Joe for decades now. This is going way back on the Lugnet days. And you look through here and you look at all the fantastic builds, and you say, these people know how to build stuff. So why on earth would Joe? Thanks, Joe. But I looked through the rest of this magazine, and their building techniques put this thing to shame. So Joe asked me to write an article about the moon base, and this is up issue number 65, January 2021. So that's 4 years ago. So I think it was COVID, maybe. I can't remember. I remember my favorite picture of me ever. Thanks, Callum. Right there. Besides my wedding pictures. This little thing, I mentioned this, the Onassis base, that from Peter Reed, which is what ultimately inspired me to build a big tower. Peter Reed was fantastic. That's a micro build. What else is interesting in here? The original box, testing the original box, the wind box. So I'm gonna say, yeah, the layout has been my I won't say it's the best thing I ever built, but it is the most, I don't know, what I'm known for. So I don't know if that's good or bad. So I got all that stuff. I'm gonna keep a lot of that stuff. I got the boxes. I'm gonna probably bring a lot of these boxes to bits and just put them in the marketplace, because I don't need them. I'm not gonna build them. So, but what do you do with that? It's cute. What do you do with that? What do you do with this? I remember getting this in the used lot, but not this box. Obviously, I got that as a gift with purchase. There's an old Berenstain Bears book called Too Much Stuff, and this is what this whole room feels like to me. It's just too much. It doesn't weigh nicely in my head, with all the stuff that I have here. And so it's like, when I moved that upstairs, and I got all the bins upstairs, so now it's just the boxes and taking down the shelves now, and all my display stuff, which I've been working on. Which again, you got this thing. Look, that's not the right color blue. I don't have a blue. Really quick. There's the right color blue. Oh, look. It's a little faded. 20 years in a fish tank. I'm not even gonna put this in the storage. I'm not, because it'll fall apart, and then you have to put it together properly, whatever. So this is just gonna stay together, and I'm just gonna put it somewhere. And the other thing I noticed, besides how wonderful that little ship is that the 10497 will not fit in any of my Ziplocs, so I'm gonna have a fun time storing that temporarily. Oh, I do. Wait. Oh my goodness, I forgot. Whoops, I completely forgot. I do have an SEQ out. And I don't know if this thing's gonna work. No, the battery's dead. Oh, the weird. Oh, there it goes. So this is the SEQ. It works. So this is the predecessor to the RCX. And it is very rudimentary. It's all programmable on here. So I'm glad I got them, and I built a little platform to use. What else? Oh, my hat. I got my other hat. In space since 1978. Stop saying 1979. It was 78. I was there. It's a point of contention. I don't care. Well, I do care, but it's coming down to the wire, and just in case you thought nothing could be stranger, this was on my desk underneath my piece of whatever membrane of what for like a desk that you have at work to put calendars under. I had this thing for literally decades, probably at least 30 now. 30 years, not decades, 30 years. I don't even remember when I got this. My girlfriend at the time was heavily into anime, and yeah, so that's where that came from. Let's see. Thanks. I kept that because one of my friends sent that to me. Also kept this one. Happy birthday to you. No, to my fave Lego fan. Love, Janie. So I keep that one. Oh, look, more stickers. I have a few more in here. Written notes from my friends who sent me stuff. So I keep it all. I keep all the notes that I got from friends, and then where did there it is. So I keep all this stuff that my friends sent me, because it is really sweet and kind to have friends out there, even though I've never met them in person. Most of them I haven't met in person, but having that, so I keep all my notes that I got from you guys that sent me notes over the years of me doing this channel. so there's that. These things I'll never get rid of either. I honestly I forget now where I got these from. And this is how I just these are official Lego blocks, and there's a whole bunch of them, but I only got 4, and the 4 were pretty steep if I remember correctly. I can't remember exactly what I paid for them for 4 of them, but they were in the area. The guy lived in Hamilton, and he had these 4 for sale, and I said, why not? So these are original. When we were doing shows back in the day for Brick Fat, our friend Bill, who is hopefully still alive, he was almost pretty old back then. He came with the wooden tractor and the wooden duck. I think he had a wooden duck, but and the blocks, the Lego blocks, which is really cool to see, because I only saw pictures in that book of the World of Lego Toys. That Lego was actually doing. It's the first time I knew Lego was doing wooden toys, because again, there was no internet back then, and none of the books, or there was no books on Lego back then, and you would get these Lego sets. So I had no idea that they did wooden toys before then, and the yo-yos and everything. You find out all this stuff well after the fact, and that's kind of nice. So I got four wooden blocks. I'm gonna keep those, obviously. Those are the oldest Lego pieces I have. I put in my garage over here. So the Lego garage. But then I have all the old pieces on top that have the no tubes, but this cut inside kind of thing. I got those off of Jeannie, I think. She gave them to her close friends. So I got 2 or 3 of those, the original binding brick. So those are the oldest bricks I have. There's 3 or 4 of them there or whatever. So that's kind of neat. I like that. So that's kind of, I just turned off. I thought I turned off the battery. Let me turn off the battery. I'm amazed the battery's still working. So this is, I need to downsize, like drastically downsize. I said in my Facebook post, I want to reduce my collection in half. I don't think that's going to happen. Because people say, oh, you're reducing half, I want monorail. Yeah, this is my issue. Nobody's got my monorail. So, well, I sell monorail to friends. I have to ask nicely. But I don't know how I'm going to do it. But I want to do it. I want to do it. Just cut it. So my plan is upstairs. When it goes upstairs, all these shelves are coming down, obviously. I'm going to rebuild the stands upstairs. That's fine. The shelves upstairs on rollers, so I can run the room. I'm going to bring it over, because all the bins are in the spare room right now. I'm going to bring them over one at a time, and I'm going to go through every single bin, and I'm going to dump out half of it or whatever. And then I'm going to put those into a big, huge tote. I got one sorted here. And then I'm going to bring it to Bricks and Sticks and buy the pound, whatever, put it on the marketplace. I am going to keep separate basic brick from modified plates and blah, blah. Like I'm not going to dump everything into one bin. So there'll be a couple different price ranges for basic brick versus modified versus alternate colors. That's my plan anyway. We'll see what actually happens, but I don't want to fill the room, because this was too much. There's 11 shelves here, 11 of these shelves, and the bedroom right now is completely, basically not floor to ceiling, but basically full of totes and boxes and whatever storage containers of Lego. And I'm going, that was exhausting carrying it upstairs, let me tell you. And I still have to carry all these other boxes, these actual Lego sets up there too now. And I start dismantling this room. I still have my space shuttle over there, and my other space shuttle stuff's over there. You can see right there. And of course my planes. And my RoboForce is still up there. So I have to take care of all this stuff. I really do. So that's what my plan is right now. So I'm going to finish taking the stuff upstairs. And one of the thoughts that I did have was to say to my friends at Turolog and anybody else that if you want to come here to this house, I can give you my address. And if you want to go through whatever bins you want to go through, and you want to fill up a garbage bag full of pieces or a tote full of pieces that you want to take home, we can absolutely negotiate a price for that. No monorail, but you can absolutely or trans yellow. Somebody asked. You can absolutely do that. I want this stuff to be gone. I want it to be gone. And I want to do it, quote unquote, as easy as possible for everybody involved. And a lot of people, oh, can I have a listing of the parts? No, I'm not going to make. Are you kidding me? Are you out of your tree? There is like literally no way I am making a listing of the parts that I have. No. I know there's no way. I don't even know where to start with. I'm going to be 102. I do not have that many years left to make a list of the parts that I have and count. No, it's not going to happen. You want them, you come here. 1969 to 1999, 100% almost everything. And I can guide you to where you're going to find them, and just fill up a bin and get out of here and throw me some bucks. I'm not here to make a profit. I'm not here to whatever. I'm also not here to take a bath on it. So I don't want to be screwed. I feel right now that I've been, I won't talk about it right now, but right now I feel like I've been used a little too much recently. And so that's making me feel uncomfortable. So that's gonna have to change. But that's a whole other story that I might go into. But yeah, we have an open door policy right now. Sandy and I always have it. If you are a friend and you are thinking about you want a lot of pieces really really easily, come and get them. Just come and get them. And we're gonna finish this room first. We're gonna empty it, and then we're gonna patch it and paint it. And Josh will be moved down here, and then I'm gonna start putting a new room together upstairs. I got some ideas for that. Like I said, rolling shelves that are reinforced so they're not dipping. So that bothers me. And then going from there, because I think that's a good idea. And I'm looking forward to it, and I'm going to do some woodworking, because I'm going to build my shelves on rollers, and I'm going to have to make a nice base for them and whatever. So, but I do want to downsize, because I'm spending way too much time, way too much time sorting and trying to find specific parts and pieces, and it's bothering me. That's what's, and this sure, I'm feeling discombobulated. I've never been one to be a steward, or there's another word for it, a steward. Not a lot of stuff laying around. I've never been that guy that everything has to be in its proper place. I like to keep things basically in the proper place. I'm not messy, although this room is a disaster right now. But I've never been one to say, oh, every forecast be lined up while you were sleeping. No, sleeping with the enemy. Think about that part. Sleeping with the enemy. Beautiful Julia Roberts. And her ex-husband / fiance, whatever. I remember the movie, not the details, but everything had all the labels had to be out in the pantries and stuff like that. Are you kidding me? No, absolutely not. I am not that person. I don't like dirty. I don't mind messy a little bit. This room has always been a little bit messy, but right now I'm a little bit discombobulated because there's just too much stuff. And I don't want to be an example of a Berenstain Bears book. So I am working on downsizing. I have a whole bunch of lots on the marketplaces right now for my 32 by 32 road base plates. And I put some raised base plates on there too now, because I want them done. And they take up a lot of room. Am I going to sell my hydrocrystallization and my AquaZone raised base plates? I don't think so. I may. But I do want to reconstitute sets. And so this thought has been crossing my mind. I just took this, come on, there it is. I just took my truck and helicopter, not the creator, model team, and put it in here. I'd take a little bit apart so it would fit the bag. So that was reconstituted from a lot, and with other pieces that I had to bring in for my collection. So I reconstituted that. So I know, for my understanding, that set's 100% complete. I might do that, just build a set, make a video about it, and then sell it at the next Bricks in the Six or the next Bricklemania or whatever. Just bring it there and say, because that set cost me next to nothing. And I know how much they go for on Bricklink. So it's like, I don't mind like going underneath the Bricklink average, not even the Bricklink average, the Bricklink cheapest price to get rid of this stuff and make some money on the side and whatever. But this is not about making money. This is about me trying to find my comfort zone by getting rid of stuff that I will never literally ever use. And since I know my building style from 4 to 58 has been this way, I don't see it changing too much. Now, Sandy and I do want to do micro scale. We've been talking about it for a long time, but I've never been organized enough to do micro scale with Sandy. I want to be organized to do micro scale with Sandy. So that means the majority of the entire collection has to be sorted out and easily accessible and easily grabbed and not overwhelming upstairs. So that's my plan. Am I going to sell this thing? I have 2 copies of this. Now, you can see how faded it is. The thing's been together for decades, and I have to put some pieces back on the front. Wow. My issue is I love Technic, but I don't need this set together. I'm probably going to take it apart and put it in a baggie and sell it. But it's all dusty and dirty and blah, blah, blah. But it's basically fully complete. I don't need it here. I don't have a place to display it, nor would I want to have, I mean, it's been sitting there on the floor. I'm not, I like my little space sets here because they're small and whatever, and I bring them down here and say, hey, look, there's mine. But I don't need this thing on display, really. If I was more, I want the space shuttles to stay on display because I adore those space shuttles. I like this set, but I don't need it together. But I also didn't know what to do with it, so there it sits. Going down here. This just fell over. What to do with all those? Oh, this is gonna be something. Yeah, I got two right there built. I got a 918, I got a 924, 918, 924, and two 928s built right now. I don't know why I got this third box. Well, fourth box. It was stupid cheap, so I picked it up. It was on the marketplace for like 50 bucks. Now I remember back in the States, we were in the States back when the States, like half a year after this thing was released, and they were like 75 bucks a pop. And I'm sure you could have picked them up cheaper than that, because whatever, but this guy in Burlington had this thing up for 50 bucks, and I said, I'll be right there, and I picked it up, and I'm going, now I regret it, because it has been sitting here on the floor in a stack of other sets that I have not built out of boxes. And that's not even to start with my footstool right there, which Josh and I might finally actually build. But this has been one of my favorite builds ever. Not as great as Saturn V, but pretty close to as great as Saturn V. I'm gonna keep on saying the Saturn V was my favorite build ever in the history of Lego. Seriously, I loved building that Saturn V. It's just, everything about it was fantastic. But anyway, this thing was almost as fantastic, more for nostalgia. But I have a fully complete, now, but I go on Marketplace right now and they're asking for 150 for this thing. I'm going, I got this thing for 50 bucks. I don't get it. I don't. It's not me. I just want it gone. This was a duplicate. We didn't realize that when Sandy and I got it from Rob's store. Josh already had these two, so this thing is in a mint and box. Well, the box isn't mint anymore. Last year's, or 2 years ago, maybe last year's advent calendar. Didn't open it. Did not open it. Paid for it. Got it from a friend. This thing was an idea that I had, and I just disappeared before I got home. So there's that. I didn't want to be complete, but I got this guy too, because I like the other one that got into the layout with the big orange wheels. So there's that. And finally, got this at the deep discount, but I already had one, so this thing stayed in the box. And then the other, I don't know what these Legos heads are going for. I got the other one I showed you earlier. So I don't know. And then a whole bunch of more smaller boxes. The one thing I plan on keeping is that when Sandy and I went down to Legoland, New York, between Christmas and New Year's a few years back, it was one of my favorite trips. I made sure to grab this cab. I mean, it doesn't say it came from the Legoland, New York, but this is a yellow taxi. So I had to buy that one at the Lego store in Legoland, New York. I think that's the only thing I bought when I was down there, which is actually a shock for me. Creator critters, but I already have them in the layout, so whatever. Creator sets, for whatever reason, I don't know. Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. I bought this for Sandy, I don't know why. Woohoo! Keep that. Sandy also got me this, the puzzle. I just never built it, so it sits here. Janie gave me this. Nice. What else? So this is a bit of a thing. I never got this to a show. So OBV CSL, OBV Classic Space Layout. So Janie got this printed for me. Thank you, Janie, for the Classic Space Layout. Sponsored with Brick Fed. Yay, we love Brick Fed. Never got to a show to display it. Brick Fed stopped, and I missed a few shows. So, but I didn't want to get rid of it because it came from my friend Janie, and I adore Janie. So, so it's final. And again, I kept on making these on my own for the Cassiopeia Sierra Lunar Base. OBV CSL. Classic Space Layout. How my mind works, I do not know sometimes. But this has been sitting in this room since Janie gave it to me. Because there's no more brick feds, so there's no point in me displaying it anymore. But I am I am loath, the opposite of want. I am loath to get rid of it. Loath, L-O-A-T-H-E, loath. I think it's L-O-A, loath, yeah, loath. I am want to get rid of it, means I want to get rid of it. I do not want to get rid of it. So, and here's something. The Ninjago spinny top, like battling top base, and again, I honestly can't remember where I got this from. We didn't buy it. I think it wasn't Brick Fed. I've had this thing for years, and it sits right here on the floor for years. And I'm going, what am I doing with this thing? I mean, it's pretty flimsy plastic, really. I mean, the Battling Tops arena was a lot better. Battling Tops is one of my favorite childhood games. Better in concentration, better in all that stuff. I love Battling Tops. Not as good as Smash Up Derby, but Smash Up Derby was a bit of a phase where Battling Tops, Dizzy Lizzy, lasted a long time. But this thing, the arena, I have. How do you even get rid of this? I think I brought it to Bricks in the 6 one year and said, free, and nobody took it. so it's like, yeah, so this is my thing. The other thing, if you want to talk about failed plans for builds, this is nothing beyond the orbiter tank for the space shuttle. This is to scale for the Technic space shuttles. And I was going to put the solid rocket boosters. Hey, what's up?
I can see.
Because I saw you on the TV.
I don't want to be on TV.
So this is to scale to the space shuttle for the solid rocket booster. I mean, the orbiter. I was going to put the solid rocket boosters inside. So I was going to do the space shuttle in 3 configurations because I had 3 of them. I only have 2 of them now. This one on the launch pad. I was going to build the launch pad out of Technic, but that would have been pretty big. And then I was going to put the 747, which is this one I really wanted to do with the 747 out of Technic beams, and the space shuttle being flown across the country. Never got around to it, but I did build the orbiter, and I never took it apart. I don't know why. So, never got beyond that. Then there's this guy that I got back in RTL Toronto days, and look how dusty he is. First of all, he's been together since then. He's pretty beat up, actually. I don't know what to do with this. I do not know what to do with this. It's not pretty anymore. It's pretty bad. The stickers are peeling. I think it's missing some parts, but it's not worth the parts for me. I don't build this way. So there's that. I seriously would rather have this one than this one, but whatever. I got them both now. So I might just take them apart, put them in a Ziploc, and forget about it. Oh. This is why people hate me. This is my footstool. That's the biggest set I have. Now, we were at the Toro Lug meeting just a couple days ago, where the kid won the Millennium Falcon. So now what I did do is I opened up all the boxes at one point, but here's the instructions. Here's the instructions. What are you getting? I think I took some beams out one time. All old grade. I think Josh started once. So even these guys. So what do I do with this thing? What do I do? I like Star Wars. I'm not a fan enough to have this thing on display in my house. I don't know. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with this. This is the original 100030. So I do not know what I'm going to do with this thing. And nor do I know if it's complete now. Because it's been sitting here for so long. And I can't remember if I went in here to steal parts for something else. It feels mostly complete. And the box. The box is really beat up. But, boom. The old gray's great, but I don't need it. I mean, it's the pieces are mint in the box, still in the packaging for the most part. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do with this stuff. I don't want to take a bath on it, but I want it gone. I want most of this stuff gone. I want to keep the stuff that means something to me. And the other one, which I was pressing. I want to keep that stuff because that means something. I don't need to keep this one. I don't know why I have. I don't know why I have that one, but I came the same lot. But the rest of it can go. It absolutely can go. But I just don't know how to get. I just don't know how to do that. So anyway, that's it. That's all. It's an hour. I'm gonna leave this mess down here, and I'm gonna tackle it tomorrow. I'm gonna take a few things upstairs. It's like I want to keep the Ecto 1. I love Ghostbusters. I'm gonna keep the Back to the Future. I never had that set together. And I want to keep the Optimus. But as for the rest of it, all these boxes, there isn't much here that I want to keep in the boxes. So, how do I get rid of them? I don't know. I got a whole bin of poly bags too that I'm gonna bring the bricks and the sticks, and the kids can steal whatever they want. But yeah, I do have to be careful because I'm not allowed to sell stuff that I got from Turolug that was given to them by the Lego company for swag. So I have to differentiate between what I got from them. There's usually a sticker on it that says not for resale. But I don't see those anywhere. I think I thought it might have been in this one because I thought this was a set that I got from the Lego company or from the Turolug, because I would never have bought that. So, but I can't find one that actually say that. Like even this guy, like this is pretty old stuff. It's a 4-digit number. I don't mind getting rid of him. So I have to keep an eye out for that not for resale thing. But I haven't seen one yet. Just stuff and more stuff. I want to downsize. So anyway, I've talked about enough. Everybody out there, stay safe, take care, and I will talk to you soon.